Radhanayan Bihari Ji ki jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Ji ki jai, Radha Damodar Shyama Sundar Gokulananda Radharaman Ji ki jai, Krishna Balaram Maharaj ki jai, Nitya Krishna Om Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Om Vishnupad Privraja Kacharya Astotra Srimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhakti Jivan Janardana Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Srimad Bhaktivedanta Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Om Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Astotra Srimad Bhakti Rakshakshidhar Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnupad Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Param Bhagavat Shila Gaur Kishore Das Vaji Maharaj ki jai, Saptam Goswami Sachidananda Shila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shiva Jagannath Das Vaji Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rup Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhakta Das Raghunath, Shri Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Swarup Damodara Ramananda Di Shri Gaur Prishad Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Shiva Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Navadvip Mando ki jai, Vraj Mando ki jai, Kshetra Mando ki jai, Tribhuvan Mangala Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Anandalila Vigrahaya Mabadivicha Visundarayan Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Janopataye Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujo Kanakavadata Sankirtanaya Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksha Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharma Pala Vande Jagatpriya Karo Karunavataram Kanakajaladagatro Nilashonabjanetro Mrigamadavara Malati Kundamala Taralatarunavesha Nilapitambaresha Smarani Britani Punjiradika Krishna Chandra Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvayavina Iti Vigyarade Tvam Naimam Charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. First of all, my unlimited Dandavat Pranams to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev Nitya Preshtam Vishnupada Astotra Sata Shishima Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shiksha Gurudev Om Vishnupada Astotra Sata Shishima Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj Urupano Gaudiya Guru Varga, all dear Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, dear guests here in East Bank, Demerara, is that right? Okay, and those who are watching us online, Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam. So we're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam these days. We heard the stories of Maharaj Dhruva, Maharaj Bharata. Today we'll hear about Maharaj Citraketu, who later became Vritrasura. Very amazing story. We didn't tell it in Trinidad, so we will hear it today. It's very significant for us because especially the prayers of Vritrasura preceding the mood of Raj, so which is described in the 10th canto. So when Sri Shukadev Goswami was hearing that. He was very much emotional, became very emotional, and he was thinking of the mood of the residents of Raj Brijabasis. So everything started from the Leela of Maharaja Citraketu, who was a great king, and he had 10 million wives. 10 million. So Srila Gurudev told, don't disbelieve this. Really, it was possible in Satya Yuga. So he was the emperor of the whole world, and so many wives. Especially Yuga was Satya Yuga, so the time was common. So once Angira Muni came to him, and Maharaj was very, very happy. He invited him, he washed his lotus feet, and oh, how are you? Oh, Maharaj, are you happy? Yes, yes, I'm happy. And you have abundance of wealth? Yes, yes, abundance. I have nothing to complain of. But still, maybe something is lacking. Oh, yes, I'm lacking a son. I don't have a son. So, oh, yes, I see, my dear king. I see that you are worried. But I can see on your forehead also, it's written that you haven't had any son for many, many lifetimes. Many, many lifetimes. So, then, but I believe, oh dear Muni, oh dear Rishi, that you can give me a son. Just when you say, let the sun come to you, immediately the sun will come. So I believe in this. So that is very, very important. Initially, Citraketu Maharaj had belief, had faith in the words of a sadhu. So then Angira Muni arranged for a puja to Ashta, demigod. And special type of kheer was made, and that kheer was given. And after that, the wife, the senior wife, the duty, her name was given that sweet rice, and she immediately became pregnant. But Angira Muni said, O king, you have to believe that that son will bring you both happiness and distress. That's why his name will be Harsha Shoka. Harsha means happiness, Shoka means distress. So the king was thinking, oh yes, so be it, actually, because I know that he will be the only son and I have 10 million wives. The one son and 10 million wives, certainly he will become very proud that I'm so exclusive, and therefore he will turn against me, but no harm, no harm. Main thing, I want to have a son. So, but although he had faith in the words of Angira Muni, still he had very much fruitive. He wanted some material benediction. So anyway, it happened like this. The son was born, very beautiful son. Oh, the king could not, how to say, could check his jubilation, his great, great feelings of joy, and he was just dancing out of happiness. And great, great ceremonies were performed, and great, great musicians were playing, and everything was so jubilant in the palace. But yes, the queens became very, very envious. So 9,999,999 queens became very, very jealous. Became very, very jealous. Oh, we're so forgotten by the king. We're neglected. He treats us worse than maidservants. What kind of behavior is that? So out of jealousy, out of anger, a person can do anything. When one is strongly under Raja and Tama gunas, what cannot a person do? So that's why, like in every step in this story, so many teachings. And finally they decided, okay, we're going to give poison to the child. We're going to give poison to the child. So then finally they administered that poison. And one morning, the queen, Krita Duty, was very surprised. Oh, my son is sleeping longer than usual. Maybe something happened. "Hey, nurse, please go and wake up my son." So the nurse came, and she saw that the child was as if sleeping, but she noticed that his eyes were just looking upwards, closed, and they were rolled up like this, like of a dead person. So then she touched the cold body of the child, and she understood the child had gone. So she started tearing her hair out of despondency. She started rolling on the ground. She was so much lost and despondent and broken-hearted. "Oh, my, fie on me! I have to now give my queen this terrible, terrible piece of news." So she was very, very much aggrieved. And anyway, when she told the news to the queen just collapsed unconscious. The child had gone. The child had gone. So then, when the king saw that, king understood the situation. The king started crying, 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 like a, I don't know, wounded deer or something, figuratively we can say. So he was crying and crying and crying. "My son is gone. My son is gone. My son is gone." But there was one saving factor for the king, because the king was connected to the sadhus, and this time not only Angira came, but Narada Muni came along with him. So Narada came for a very special purpose. And Narada placed his hand on the heart of the boy and said, "Oh boy, you should get up, get up. Oh soul, where have you been? Immediately return." So the soul returned to the body. The soul returned to the body, and then the son said, Narada Muni said, "Oh, your father and mother are both weeping bitterly for you." "Which mother and father?" the boy asked. The soul asked, not even the boy. The soul asked, "Oh, in many, many lifetimes, I had so many parents, and in so many lifetimes also was a parent to so many children, and who knows, the next lifetime also we will meet and we will again change our roles. So this process is going on and on continuously without end." So finally the soul said, "Where I have gone, I'm very happy. There is no chance to do bhajan here, but I went to a better place where there's a chance to do bhajan." So in mundane life, we see, like in everyday life, when sons and daughters find some opportunity for bhajan, they become spiritually inclined, interested, then they leave their home. That's natural, because, well, you naturally run away from a place where you cannot breathe. When you cannot breathe spiritually, then definitely you have to go. So, so he said, many, many mothers and fathers. Remember in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila also, in the house of Srivas Thakur was a similar issue. When Mahaprabhu was dancing in the house of Srivas, and Srivas's 12-year-old son had gone, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, hey boy, hey, oh soul, return." And more or less same thing. The soul said, "Which mother and father?" "I have millions mothers and fathers." So, but when we were asking Srila Gurudev where the soul had gone, he said, "Oh, he went because Krishna's flute called him, so he went to join Krishna's rasa dance at that time." He left. Okay, this time the soul left the house of the palace of a king, Citraketu, who was not a devotee at that time, actually, like the way he became later. But in the case of Mahaprabhu, the child left. Why? Because Gurudev explained he had his reason, he had his mission to perform, means to join Krishna's rasa dance. So there are certain ways of the Lord's devotees. So we can see in this story how Maharaj Citraketu became disappointed then. So, and the queen also quite disappointed in their desire to have the son back. So Narada Muni asked, "Oh, do you still want him to remain as your son?" And they said, "No,
We don't want him to remain our son anymore, because this is a soul who has very, very clear spiritual inclination. So that soul should go wherever that soul is happy. We now realized we cannot be happy without bhakti. So for us, we realized. So wonderful story. So sometimes death of a close relative makes us inquire into spiritual life. What is the essence of all this, rotation in the world of birth and death? Why don't we free ourselves from this samsara, material life? So departure of a close relative like mother, father, sister, brother, son, especially daughter, very, very painful. So we naturally become inclined. We ask questions, about life. Devotees also notice that, if in their materialistic family, or somebody goes away, means leaves the body, so those relatives become very attentive, very inquisitive towards the devotee, and they ask, so what do you think? Like this, they look, and how can you explain this? How can you comment? We've heard many instances like this. So it's a very, very, common story. As we remember, Srila Gurudev was saying, don't fear of death. Death is sure, so we have to be prepared. So yesterday we were speaking also. It may happen tomorrow, it can happen the day after tomorrow. We never know how and why. So Citraketu Maharaj and his wife didn't want that soul to remain as their son anymore, and said, okay, let him go, and we want bhakti now. We want bhakti. We want diksha. We want your mercy. Please give us diksha. Please give us spiritual initiation. So then immediately Narada Rishi gave them mantra, inspired them, and later he became Citraketu Maharaj became a very, very realized soul. He was performing sadhana and bhajan, worshipping Sankarshan Dev, Lord Anantashesh. So he received darshan of his Ishta Dev, of his worshipful deity. Sankarshan Dev gave him his darshan and gave him so much mercy. So practically, he was a pure devotee. He was on a level of bhav and higher. He was really a realized soul. So also he had mystic powers, and he was the leader of Vidyadharas. One type of abode was given to him by Lord Sankarshan, because now, in the same way as Bharat Maharaj, he had some attachments still, although he was very pure, very realized actually, but he had some attachment and some, specific features in his service. So he had spiritual airplane also, mystical spiritual airplane, which he could control by the power of his mind. So if it was very hot, he could just, by the power of his mind, turn on the AC. And it was too cold, and heating immediately was turned on. There was some mystical gardens on board. There was some also, that mansion, that aerial mansion, was able to be controlled by the power of mind. So go forward means go forward, go down means go down, up means up. Immediately reach some point very, very quickly in half a second. Immediately it was possible. So Maharaj Citraketu was able to control that plane very, very rapidly. So Citraketu thought, I could see my godbrother Shankara, Lord Shiva. I want to see him. So immediately he directed his plane to Kailash, where Lord Shiva was residing. And as we heard in the story of Shukadeva Goswami, when he was Shri Ashuk, he flew to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, and in that assembly where Citraketu saw him from above, from his spiritual, mystical plane, he also saw that Lord Shiva was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, but he was, not attached. So he was completely naked, and he was decorated with the serpents everywhere. It means he was so much attached to his Ishtadev, Lord Sankarshan. So those serpents of Anantadev everywhere, and even if he walks, having only one kopin, he has snakes in his kopin also. But that time he was completely naked, and Parvati was seated on his lap at that moment. Parvati, Sati Devi, was seated on his lap, and he was telling Srimad Bhagavatam. So then Citraketu Maharaj started laughing. Hare Guru Bhai, what the very strange position you are today. Really. In a very strange position. Why are you so naked? Srimad Bhagavatam is such an exalted scripture, and you're telling it, and you're quite naked. And also you're keeping your wife, Sati Devi, on your lap. So that is completely, how to say, intolerable. But then Lord Shiva saw, and Parvati also saw that Parvati became very, very furious. She saw, how can you say that? Who are you? You think you are my husband's guru? You see how many liberated persons are seated around. The four Kumaras, Narada, and so many great, great personalities are sitting and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from my husband. My husband is a liberated person. He's a great authority for all these great personalities. And you dare to call him naked. You dare to call him, to tell that he's acting inappropriately. So what kind of behavior is that on your side? So the powerful Sati, Parvati Devi, mother of the universe, mother of all, in this world, she cursed Citraketu. You'll become a demon. You'll become a demon. And finally, Citraketu realized what was happening, immediately started taking the form of a demon, and then Shankara became angry at Parvati, because you see what you've done. By your uncontrolled tongue, you have offended my dear Guru Bhai, my dear spiritual brother. So he is my brother. We're disciples of the same Guru. So you're very beautiful. That's why you have so deep false ego. And that false ego allows you to give curses left and right, give blessings left and right. What kind of behavior is that? No. He could easily counteract your curse. Don't think he's so weak. He could counteract your curse, but he didn't do that because he's very humble. I know. And he will now humbly accept the results of your curse. He will take the body of a demon. So you don't recognize that great personality. That's why, O Parvati, you have to recognize you have done wrong. So what would you done if he counteracted your curse, if he did the counter curse? He's much more advanced than you, so you're at great fault. So as a result, Citraketu became the demon Vritrasura. But before we start the second part of the story, we'll ask devotees to sing one little bhajan. We have to be a bit in a hurry today because a long way takes to return, so we have more or less maybe 45 minutes in all remaining, 45 to 50 minutes. So please sing one bhajan now. We'll sing. Maybe some Prabhu's didis local, we haven't heard, and you know that they're singing, so please give them the mic. Who will? Shyam Sundar, okay. Maybe Shyamala Didi wants to sing. You want to sing? One song, please. Can you take Mridang? Take Mridang? Take Mridang. Take. Can you please come a bit closer? Sit there. Oh, this lady, okay.
Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam.
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. Karo tao.
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam.
Shama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Shri Jai Jai Shri Radhe Nitai Gaur Premanande Shrimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki. So, Maharaj Citraketu eagerly agreed to become a demon. There was no problem for him. So he became a demon called Vritrasura. But quite long prehistory precedes that. Once upon a time, King Indra was seated surrounded by great personalities, Marutsvas, Rudras, Adityas, Vidyadharas, Vishwadevas, etc. So, and he was being worshipped. And his master, his guru, Brihaspati, came. But Indra neglected his guru and did not even stand up to salute his guru, to give him proper respect. So Brihaspati just left, didn't say anything. So Indra realized he committed a grievous mistake, and he started condemning himself. Oh, fie on me. I have done a completely regrettable thing. So now I have to somehow or other find my spiritual master and beg for forgiveness. But Brihaspati disappeared. He punished his disobedient disciple Indra in that way. So then Indra started regretting, to hell with my opulence, my prestige, to hell with all my qualifications. Now I know that I will become very weak, and I see that my master is dissatisfied with me. So immediately great calamities will happen. So very instructive episode. So we have to be always sure that our Gurudev is pleased with us, how to understand that our Gurudev is pleased with us. Often we're asking Srila Gurudev how to understand that
Guru is pleased with us. Oh, you become naturally happy, Gurudev was saying. Like you become naturally happy. You become naturally inspired, enlivened in bhakti. Means you have new enthusiasm. So your Gurudev is happy. You know? So Krishna is saying himself, if even I am pleased with the devotee, but if Guru is displeased, I will not accept that. So Guru must be pleased. So like that, Guru is Drishya Bhagavan, the visible Lord. So if he is satisfied, then our life is like green light is given, otherwise red light. Stop, some blockage. So if some enthusiasm, if your enthusiasm is gone, then we have to realize, we have to, how to say, Gurudev was saying, feel your barometer. Feel your barometer, where your barometer, what your barometer is showing. Wind, or maybe hurricane is coming, or maybe bright sunny day. So it depends. So Indra could not find peace of mind, and immediately the demons noticed that, and they attacked the heavenly kingdom. They attacked the heavenly kingdom, and they drove away all the demigods from heavenly kingdom. And they also, so everybody was so much surprised. I mean, everybody was so scattered. All the demigods were very much aggrieved, and they went to Brahma. Yes, O best of the celestials, Brahma said, you have to approach Vishvarupa, the son of Tvashta. So Vishvarupa has performed so many austerities. Definitely you will prosper because of Vishvarupa's grace, because of Vishvarupa's blessings. So you will approach Vishvarup, the son of Tvashta, accept him as your guru, and on the strength of his austerities, then you will prosper. You will flourish, definitely so. So being advised by Brahma, the demigods went to the abode of Vishvarup, and he replied, oh yes, I will accept his priesthood, but definitely I will become your priest. I cannot refuse, since you are my superior, so I have to become your priest. So he made, Achaman, Oma, Pavitra, Pavitrava, and all necessary procedures for the demigods. And then 12-syllable mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and then so many things he performed. He performed Narayana Kavacha prayers. So when one gets Narayana Kavacha, results of Narayana Kavacha prayers, then one becomes invincible. So that is why actually Indra became invincible in the final combat with Vritrasura. So Narayana Kavacha was protecting the demigods, and then Indra was very satisfied, but he noticed one thing, that Vishvarupa was having 3 heads. Vishvarupa was having 3 heads. With one head, he was drinking somarasa. With the other hand, he was drinking wine. And the third head, he was eating. So Indra took his trident, what's it, not trident, no, thunderbolt. Indra took his thunderbolt and cut those 3 heads, cut the 3 heads of a brahmana, It's a great sinful activity. So finally, the head which drank somarasa transformed into one type of partridge, and the other head also into partridge, and the third head into a sparrow. So those 3 heads became those objects. So then after killing Vishvarupa, Indra became very repentant. What to do, where to go? I have to neutralize that curse. And so he started meditating. He divided the results of that curse into 4 sections. So one section, 1/4 will go into the earth, 1/4 will go into the water, 1/4 will go into the trees, and 1/4 will go into the women. So the results of that curse are now very visible. But Indra also gave blessings. simultaneously, to earth, to water, to the trees, and to women. So the earth is automatically filled with drains. Water comes to the earth automatically. That's the blessing. But the curse is that there are deserts, and in deserts nothing grows. In deserts, any ritual like yagya is not to be performed. So that's the curse upon the earth. And the water is automatically sweet and can be mixed with any substances. Then the substances qualities increase, like any dye or juice. Water helps, but simultaneously there are bubbles on water, so we should not drink fizzy drinks because they're contaminated. It's not Brahminical actually to drink fizzy drinks. So anyway, etc. So bubble water is considered to be impure. The trees, they automatically bring some fruits, and I think, oh no, when they're cut, they can grow automatically very quickly. That's the blessing. But they cannot produce nice juice. In northern countries, they collect some birch juice, birch, but that's some exception. Also, it has to be some sugar should be added, so that juice is actually tasteless. But ladies, they can satisfy the passionate desire. That's the blessing, but they are impure for like quarter of a month, more or less. So that is the result of those 4 neutralizing parts of those reactions for killing a Brahmana Vishvarupa. So Tvashta, the father of Vishvarupa, became enraged, and he started performing yagya to obtain an entity, like a demon personality, the enemy of Indra, and he started pronouncing the mantra. But he made a mistake. He made a mistake because when he was uttering the keywords, Indra Shatra. Shatra means enemy. He said the long A instead of short, and he said Indra Shatra. As a result, Indra Shatra means enemy of Indra, and Indra Shatra means the Indra who is an enemy, the opposite meaning. So he wanted to say, "Oh, enemy of Indra, immediately flourish." And the result came Indra Shatra. "Oh, Indra, who is the enemy, immediately flourish." So Indra became, victorious as a result. So finally, the great, great demon came out of Yagya, and that was Vritrasura. And Vritra means covering all space. He was really covering all space, and when he was yawning, he seemed to be swallowing the whole sky, and his eyes were yellow and, etc. Horrible, horrible appearance, but that was actually none other than Citraketu Maharaj in the garb of a demon. But he was acting like, when somebody is in the body of a dog, then barks. Yesterday we heard when Bharata was in the body of a deer, so he was, acting as a deer, but simultaneously he had some completely other features of a spiritual personality, although in the body of a deer. So in that same way, as formerly acting as a demon, Vritrasura was actually a great devotee. So even he was much more advanced than Indra, as we will see, finally. So the demigods took shelter of the Supreme Personality of God and then started praying, "Oh, Supreme Personality, please protect us, please protect us." So the demigods also showed here, very fruitive actually. They're always praying for protection, for flourishing, for protection, for, betterment of their conditions and for successful results of their sacrifices and all of their activities. So okay, they're very much Sakama. The Supreme Lord was thinking, okay, they're Sakama, they want material desires. Okay, let them fulfill. Yesterday we were discussing about, not yesterday, day before, Sunday actually, Dhruva Maharaj. So we call him Sakama Bhakta, although he was very exalted. But Vritrasura is actually much higher than Dhruva, much higher than even Bharata. He's much higher. So we'll hear now about the wonderful character of this devotee who was in the body of a demon. Many more examples, actually. Even Prahlad was like born in demonic family, and Prahlad, very, very special devotee. But anyway, Vritrasura, his mood was very special. So when Ashwini Kumaras heard about the threat, which was from Vritrasura's side, then they became the intermediaries in the connection of the demigods with the Dadichi. And Dadichi was very, very great rishi, and Dadichi actually agreed to sacrifice his body, to give his body for giving strength to the demigods. So he finally surrendered his body. It's a long story anyway, very technical, but anyway, he surrendered his body for the demigods' victory. And so they had, remember, they had Narayana Kavacha, results of obtaining Narayana Kavacha weapon. And they had the strength from the Dichi Rishi's great, great body. So that was actually beginning of Treta Yuga. Satya Yuga had finished, and beginning of Treta Yuga. So that was like one of the most ferocious battles in the history of mankind, at least in Srimad Bhagavatam. I think that is most ferocious battle described. So on one side there were great warriors on the side of Indra, all the demigods and all the different entities, how to say, supporting demigods. And on the other side, Vritrasura was supported by thousands of demons, demi-demons, yakshas, rakshasas, etc. So they were roaring like lions, and demons. Finally, because the demigods became very strong, the demons ran out. They were casting the weapons. They were trying to save themselves. So Vritrasura was approaching them with great tumultuous voice. "Oh demons, do not flee! Please don't be afraid of death, because you have to know that everyone who had been born in this material world must die. So that's inevitable. Fulfill your guru's order, Shukracharya, and give up your bodies in battle. Don't be afraid, but anyway, your bodies are made of, all inauspicious, stool, urine, etc. But you are running to save them. But the demons were so much attached to the bodies, they were fleeing. But Vritrasura alone was standing in front of the demigods, and by seeing the gigantic demon Vritrasura, the demigods were very much afraid. And then finally Vritrasura saw Indra himself coming before him with thunderbolt in hand. So then Vritrasura started thinking, oh, that is the same abominable person who killed my brother, his brother Vishvarupa. So he is now standing before me. No, oh Indra, he started chastising Indra first, formally acting like a demon. Oh Indra, your great enemy, you're bereft of shame, mercy, and glory. You will now die a painful death. So he was performing his dharma. As a warrior on the battlefield, he was performing his dharma. He was ferocious, very fearful, with huge, mouth and teeth and eyes and everything, matted locks of hair, etc. So demigods, oh king of demigods, now I'm standing before you, ready to fight you. So Vritrasura finally changed his mood a little bit. He said, oh Indra, actually, there will be no harm if you kill me. There will be no harm. What's the use of this body, which is anyway destined for death, So please take your Vajra, take your thunderbolt and kill me. Why don't you kill me? I am your enemy standing before you. Why don't you hesitate to hurl your thunderbolt? So it was empowered by Lord Vishnu. So what are you afraid of? Your your armor and your weapons have been blessed by Lord Vishnu. So you're invincible now. So you have to use them against me. So come on, kill me. You will free me. You will free me by your thunderbolt from material bondage. I'll be freed. So it's a demon, but he was already talking from the point of view of self-realization. I'm bound by karmic reaction, very heavy karmic reaction, and I'm just anticipating for you to take your weapon and just kill me. Just perform this duty. Just finish me off quickly. So he was saying. Because the Lord himself personally assured you. So what are you afraid of? Why are you hesitant? O Indra? Indra was still a bit fearful of the demon. So we'll hear very, very soon the dramatic end of Vritrasura. How Vritrasura was killed. Very, very amazing. But by the mercy of the Lord, and Vritrasura is speaking further on, by the mercy of the Lord, his devotees are saved from uselessly endeavoring in achievements in Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, the four goals of ordinary life of a human. Religiosity, economic development, the Dharma, Artha, Kama, sense gratification, and liberation, yes. So the Supreme Lord has already freed you from that. However, you're hesitant. That's also showing that Indra was mixed devotee. He was a devotee, but very much mixed. All the Srimad Bhagavatam, so many situations, we see how he was mixed, So, and finally, Vritrasura pronounced those final 4 prayers, great, great prayers. So they're especially important for us because they are directing us towards the mood of Vrijabasis. Because Vrijabasis' love is completely, completely selfless. Vrijabasis are not concerned with any self-interest. So that is why those 4 prayers of Vritrasura are like very, very classical for us. And they are not just giving Sharanagati. Like Sharanagati, we can, Sharanagati, the six-fold surrender. Accept what is favorable, reject what is unfavorable, always be humble, and give your soul to Krishna, Atma Nivedana, accept Krishna as maintainer and protector. But something is still there. Something is still there. The mood of residence of Raj is there. So Shukadev Goswami, when he was hearing the prayers of Vritrasura, he became very emotional. He was thinking, oh, something special is there. So finally, Vritrasura started praying. He said, Aham Hare Tava Padai Kamula Dasanu Dasa Bhavitasmi Bhuya Manasmarita Subhatir Gunamsti Grinita Vakarma Karotu Kaya. Oh, Supreme Lord, I wholeheartedly want to be always situated at your lotus feet. Aham Hare Tava Padai Kamula. Dasa Anudasa. Dasa Anudasa. Here he is saying. Yesterday we were hearing about Bharata Maharaj, and we were hearing also that prayer, Naham Vipro na cha narapatim napi vaishya shudro naham varnena cha grahapatir mohanastamitirva kintu pradyam nikila paramananda purnamrita dirgopi bhartapada kamalar dasa dasa. I don't belong to any of the 2 times 4 categories of Varnashrama. I'm not a Brahman, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not Vaishya, I'm not Shudra. I'm not Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Who am I? Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalar Dasa Dasa. The servant of Gopi Bhartu, the beloved of the gopis. Also remember that verse by Maharaj Kulashekar. Madjanmana Palamidam Manukai Tabari Mat Prartaniya Madanugraha Esha Eva Don't britya britya paricharaka britya britya brittasya britya iti mam smaralokana. The 7 times servant, and britya paricharaka also servant, servant of a servant of a servant. What does it really mean? Srila Gurudev explains that Vritrasura is wishing to perform Vaishnava Seva. He wishes to find a pure-hearted devotee who is in the bona fide Guru Parampara and serve him. That is, Padaraja Abhisheka was speaking yesterday, Rahugana's Jada Bharata's speech to Rahugana Maharaj, where he was saying what Padaraja Abhishekam, I want just to wash my head with the dust from your lotus feet, life after life. That's what I want to do. Padaraja Abhishekam. It means following instructions wholeheartedly. What does it mean? Being in Guru Parampara means whatever gurus are saying, then you follow. What does it mean? Britya, Brittasya, Britya, Britya, 7 times. It means we're servants of even one insignificant servant of Sri Guru. We're serving all Vaishnavas who are in the line. It's a very deep subject. So, but Sri Vritrasura is saying this. I want to be a servant of a servant, not just servant of the Lord directly. No. He's speaking about Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara. So Rupa, Raghunath, So we're serving like 7 generations before, more. Through our Gurudev, we receive whom? We receive Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, Swarup Damodara Ramananda, Mahaprabhu himself, all according to Guru Parampara. So that's what Vritrasura actually wants here. So, Aham Hare Tava Padai Kamula Dasana Dasa Bhavitasma Bhuya Manas Marete Supatir Gunamste Rinta Vak Karna Karotu Kaya. So I want to serve with my Vak, Kaya, Kaya Mana Vacha, Mana. So with my mind, with my body, and with my speech. So that's why we have 3 lines here. 3 lines. We wear only this, no other decorations. Some devotees wear different types of decorations here, kavacha here, this, that. Srila Rupa Goswami only this, nothing else. That's why we don't have any additional decorations. Because we want to be concentrated, one-pointed. Same as yesterday we were hearing about how, not yesterday, Sunday, we were hearing how Dhruva Maharaj was one-pointed, that's why his name was Dhruva. So that one-pointedness is very important. So in the first prayer of Vritrasura is given so vividly, So I want with my mind to be thinking of you constantly. With my body, I want to serve constantly in many different ways. With my speech, I want to glorify your Nama Rupa Guna Lila constantly. So the first prayer of Vritrasura like this. So in the second prayer, Vritrasura mentions whatever he does not need. So that again shows his one-pointedness very vividly. He said, Nanaka Prishtam na Chaparameshtam na Sarva Bhomna Narasadpatam na Yoga Siddhirna Paragatana Samanjasa Virahaya Kankshe. O Samanjasa, O the Lord of best achievements. So I don't want anything in this world. I don't want to possess heavenly kingdom, although the demons possessed it. They pushed Indra down from his throne. But he said, I don't want. Manaka Prishnam Nacha Parameshnam, I want to become a Sarvabhauma. I don't want to become the emperor of the whole world. I don't want also Rasadipatiam. I don't want the possession of the underground kingdom of hellish planets. There are so many mystical planets under earth. Somebody says that those technocratic civilizations come down from down there. Like nowadays, those unearthly buildings, etc., they come from also flying saucers and everything. Anyway, all those mystic Also, great facilities are there under the earth in those Mediterranean heavenly planets, so-called. Yeah.
It's like
Inferior.
paradise systems.
Yeah. So Vritrasura is saying, I don't want that. Also, he's saying, Nayoga Siddhira, I don't want any results of mystic powers, because he saw many mystic powers while he was Vritrasura, while he was Citraketu, He was flying that mystical airplane, so many yogis can possess those powers. So I don't want that. But what I really want, Tvavirahaya Kanksha, he's saying, I want to experience separation from you. Oh, what is separation? We at once remember Brijabasis. Because Brijabasis are in separation with Krishna. Brijabasis are in separation. We'll be hearing about that separation, I think, on Saturday in Tarun's. Where is Tarun? 2 evenings he's not here. In Tarun's house. We'll be hearing about separation from Brijabasis from Krishna. Krishna actually left Vrindavan to let Brijabasis experience that separation. Because what is viraha? Rahasya means meeting, and vi means special. So separation is a special meeting. Vi rahasya, vishesha rupena rahasya, viraha. That is special meeting through separation. So the gopis of Vraj, they're always thinking of Krishna and always meeting him, therefore, in their minds. So that is whatever Vritrasura is feeling here is just like a shadow of the feelings of the gopis and Vrijabasis. So that is why Shukadeva Goswami was hearing that and became very emotional. It's like first hint. That's why this Katha we're speaking just before starting the 10th canto tomorrow. So now in the third verse, which is especially important, Vritrasura is declaring the type of attachment he wants to cultivate for the lotus feet of the Lord. He's saying, Ajatapakshe hamataram khaga stanyam yatha vatsatara kshidartha priyam priyava vishitam vishanna manora vindaksha vidrikshate tvam. He's saying, Oh my Lord, I want to be attached to you like a baby bird in a nest with yellow, wide open beak is eager to receive some, whatever, some grains, they're non-vegetarians, so insects, a worm from a mother. So like this, I'm eager to anticipate your mercy. Oh my Lord, in the same way as a little baby calf tied to a little stick on the ground wants to receive milk from the mother cow. Or the third one, in the way the beloved is waiting for her beloved, man, husband, or beloved, from a long journey. In that same way, she's anticipating his arrival. So in that same way, I want to be eager to receive your mercy. So in these three comparisons, there's a gradation. The first one is the baby bird. So baby bird is very frightened without mother, It's a shocking situation. Sitting in a nest alone, mother is flying here and there, looking for some food, and the little baby bird, or birds, several of them, are just waiting, and great anticipation and great fear, actually, because some mighty bird can, some eagle can come, some owl can come, some crow, and harm the bird, even kill, So they're very fearful. And they want, oh, mommy, please come and protect me. Please feed me like this. But this is what? For self-protection. Only for self-protection. Well, this is not bad, but this is not, genuine feeling and desire for service yet. Not. This is just for myself. Please pray. Oh, my Lord, help me, protect me. Very good, especially at the moment of danger. There is not deviation from principles of pure bhakti. But now, the second second comparison is little calf, little baby calf. We saw little calves in India. They may be 2 weeks. So I was asking Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj, how old are these calves? Oh, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. Oh, and this one about a week, very, very small. He wants milk, immediately wants mother's udder, but the time for milking had not come. That's why he's under discipline by the, cowshed taker, the farmer, and he's tired and he's hamba, Gurudev saying hamba means mother, in Indian language. Hamba means amba. So I want ma also, ma same as pp little baby bird. So hamba also this baby calf wants mother, wants mother's milk. So that's why give me this mentality, and so much eagerness. But baby calf has more eagerness and more, how to say, enthusiasm to achieve the result, mother's milk, than the baby bird. Baby bird is just lost, but the little calf is very active, because when the cowshed taker comes, the farmer comes, unties them, immediately rushes towards the mother and cannot stop him. Okay, that's life, you cannot stop the baby calf, better from living, so I'm from from city, from cement, I don't know. So you know better, Whole Guyana is like little pasturing ground. Big pasturing ground. Yeah, so those two examples are without seva-vritti, without the tendency to serve. But the third one is about tendency to serve, because the lady waiting for her beloved is doing everything totally for his pleasure, nothing for herself, just nothing for herself, because her love is totally costless. So priyam priyava vishitam vishanna. That's why this is the highest. So I want, like he was thinking, oh, like a baby bird, oh, like a baby calf, or rather like a beloved, waiting for her beloved to come. So I want him to come. And she's thinking, she's meditating, oh, when he comes, then I will serve him in this way and that way. I will serve him dinner. I will give him his favorite foodstuffs. I will wash his feet, first of all. I will put nice carpet for him to go, like this, So that is the mood of Brijbasis, actually, the gopis. And they are anticipating, oh, Krishna comes. But now he's in Mathura, so he must be happy. So, and they are simultaneously Radhika. I remember in Brahma Gita, in Song of B, Radhika is very, very happy. I mean, Radhika is very, very actually happy for Krishna, that Krishna is happy there in Mathura, but she's very angry simultaneously. Oh, that friend of Kubja, that friend of the Mathura Ramanis, now they're so much attached to him, and they're so sophisticated, etc., etc. He's so much attracted to them now, so he must have forgotten our simple manners, simple village girls. He doesn't want to return to us like this, so very mixed feelings. So that's why Vritrasura was very eager to die, to finish that demoniac body, to finish that nightmare, he had to come through. So then finally, the fourth prayer, he's speaking about sadhu sangha in the fourth prayer, the final prayer of Vritrasura. Mamuttama shloka janeshu sakyam samsara chakra brahmata svakarmavi tadmaya atmatma janara gehesh asakta chittasya nanatha bhuyat. Oh, Uttama shloka, oh Lord, eulogized in the best prayers, my only desire is to always be in friendly relationship with your dear bhaktas, your dear devotees. Mamuttama shloka, janeshu sakyam, not dasyam. Please pay attention. Sakyam here means friendly relationship. But you can ask, but wait a minute, if you serve Guru, you serve seniors, then you have to become Das, first servant. That is true. But in order to really serve Guru, what is needed? Vishramba Guru Seva. Means very intimate service to Sri Guru, very intimate. Without establishing friendly relationship, Karuna, without establishing friendly relationship, how can you really serve Guru? Like that lady, waiting for the husband. So much love, but also desire for seva. But the relationship is so dense, so intimate. Mamata is so big, so high. So the lady is absolutely like breathing that mamata. So the disciple actually should be like this. So he should develop that great mamata for Guru Seva. So what's that called? Vishramba. Vishramba. Very intimate service. My Gurudev. And my Gurudev I will serve like this because he likes. So there are basically three categories of sevaks, The first one is like nonsense, Guru says to him, serve like this, he doesn't want. So bogus. The second one, if Guru says, he serves. This is like normal. Okay, good. Good, but not very good. And very good, best is then when even Guru doesn't say, he does everything because he knows that Guru likes it to do like this. Even if Guru says something opposite, like remember Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj? He said, don't go to Kolkata. Kolkata is the place for Kali. Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati not only went to Kolkata, but established first Gaudiya Math, the bastion in the enemy's territory. Okay. It's not only, I would say, fulfilled, but like extra fulfilled. Even Guru didn't expect. So, you can do that. I didn't really expect. So like this. So this is called Manobishtam. So that's what Vritrasura is praying here for. Manobishtam means to realize the Guru's pure internal desire of heart. So that is Manobishtam, Seva. Manuttama shloka samsara chakra brahmatosva karma bhi, that I am ready to leave all those Dara Geheshal, wife, society and everything, in order to be established at the lotus feet of Sri Guru and serve him like this. So those are Vritrasura's prayers. These are brilliant, For Vraja Bhaktas, these are absolutely classical and necessary. So then, after this, the conclusion of all the fight followed, and then Vritrasura's trident was there, and Vritrasura was inducing Indra, come on, take a thunderbolt and kill the enemy, kill me. He was inducing Indra. Then finally Indra started fighting. Well, he was, don't just sit down and listen. So praising Vritrasura again. So the Indra praised Vritrasura, but he picked up his thunderbolt, and it was a long fight actually, and he lost his thunderbolt at one point. He just dropped his thunderbolt because Vritrasura was very powerful. He dropped his thunderbolt, and the demigods became, save us, what's going on? And then finally, Vritrasura wounded Airavata. First time he wounded Airavata, the elephant, bleeding Airavata. Indra had never been in such a condition that Airavata is like bleeding to death. It's just set like this, and Indra on his top, it's never been. What's going on? Okay, I think he gave him his hand, nectar-giving hand on his forehead. So then the elephant Airavata came back to normal. He can regain his strength. And then finally, like at the end of all, Vritrasura opened his gigantic mouth and swallowed Indra and Airavata together. Swallowed and thinking, okay, now they're dead. And the process of digestion started, He's thinking now, okay, oh Supreme Lord, started meditating, on the Supreme Lord, meditating on the Supreme Lord. But Indra, since he was blessed by the Supreme Lord with the Narayana Kavacha, with the help of Vishvarupa, Narayana Kavacha, so he found his way through Vritrasura's stomach, burst through Vritrasura's stomach, broke open, Vritrasura's stomach, and then Vritrasura started dying as a result. Vritrasura started. Actually, I think at that time Vritrasura was having just one arm. One arm was cut by Vajra, Indra. And in that condition, he swallowed Indra, being one arm, only one arm left. And then Indra, I think, second arm also cut the second arm and finally cut his head with his Vajra. So then Vritrasura was in total trance and meditation with the Supreme Lord. And that is the way he achieved achieved spiritual planets. And then Indra had big trouble because like everybody was jubilating, everybody was actually fascinated by Vritrasura's character and everything, including the demons. Nobody was praising Indra for victory. Nobody was praising Indra for victory because he understood he committed another great sin, not only sin, offense. Vaishnava Parada killed a Brahmana because Vritrasura was Brahmana. He was the son of Tvashta, from that fire yagya. And he was also brother of Vishwarup. So anyway, not killing Brahmana, but a great devotee. So what to do? He didn't want, he just didn't find a proper place. And finally he tried to flee through the sky, but then, the sin personified, the old lady, with very nasty fishy breath, as we experienced something in the markets, terrible breath. So, like a terrible lady with fishy breath, the sin personified, Papa Devi, Papa Devi, was persecuting him everywhere, here and there, and then finally, then he went to the celestial Manasa Sarovara lake, and then he found a shelter amongst the steps of lotuses. Then, because Lakshmi Devi is residing in steps of lotuses, then she gave him, like mother, gave him special shelter. Okay, you stay here, and he appointed King Nahusha as his deputy, occupying his throne. But Nahusha was thinking, I'm so powerful, I'm so great. Oh, let me have union with Shachi, the wife of Indra, like this. So that's Nahusha, So Indra had so many problems as a result, killing Brahmanas. So certainly he was victorious. He had to be victorious according to the Lord's blessings. But Indra again was in trouble, So that shows the great character of Vritrasura and, quite meager character of Indra, although he's certainly devotee, but very much Sakama. Is not included in any category, even preliminary, like Dhruva Maharaj, so Indra is like a post. Anyway, he's the authority, but we don't especially worship him, respect him, but not, exemplify him. Oh, Indra said. No, we say Vritrasura Uvacha, the 4 prayers. These are for our meditation, like at the moment of death also, I presume. Very, very good. It's a Aham Hare Tava Padaya Kamala Dasa Dasa Bhavitasmi Guyam Manas Mareta Supatir Gunamste. So, Shri Vritrasura ki Jai, Shri Maharaja Citraketu ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki Jai, Nitaya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bom. Sorry, I've delayed a little bit, but no traffic at the way back will take probably half an hour, they say. So, last bhajan, who wants to, or if devotees have some questions, like 1 minute, we can discuss. Otherwise, I'm very happy to be in the house of Srimati Shyamala Didi and her family. So thank you very much for accepting. We don't mind traveling even far to visit sweet devotees' houses. So, Hare Krishna. Nitaya Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. Would you like to sing one bhajan, Mata? Last bhajan is yours, please. Give her the mic. Oh, she's escaping. She went away. Okay, so glasses. Okay, very good, very good. That's a positive answer. That's a sign of agreement. So, which bhajan? We don't even know. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Okay, Hare Krishna. So tomorrow, Ekadashi, please be careful to follow Ekadashi properly, everybody. Don't take any grains, okay? And beans and dal like this, bread, okay? And you can see I sent actually Rasapri the standards for Akadashi, so you can share in your group with the devotees. And tomorrow in the temple there will be a program at 6 o'clock. And we will, since we discussed Ambarisha Maharaj in Trinidad, we will discuss another story of King Rukmangad. That will be a surprise from Vishnu Purana, but anyway, I think Krishna Skanda Purana, some Purana. So, is bhajan coming? Please give the mic to Didi.
Jiyo Shamalala, Jiyo Shamalala, Piri Tere Pagari Vandakala.
Pili tere pakari Ramchala.
Jiyo Shamalala, Jiyo Shamalala, Piri Tere Pagari Vandakala.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Shila Gurudeva ki very much.